Hello. This video is to go with our topic about solving equations, and it talks about the three different types of solutions that you can have after you solve an equation. So the three different types are one solution, no solution, and infinite solutions. In this video, we're going to do one example of each so that you can better understand what each one means. So our first example is 18 divided by x equals 6. So I'm going to split my equation up into two pieces by drawing a line down my equal sign. And remember, my job is to always get the variable, or the x, all by itself. Now to get this x all by itself, I'm going to eventually have to get rid of this 18. But the problem right now is this fraction. It's really hard to deal with fractions, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that fraction to start off with. Well, since this problem says 18 divided by x, to get rid of the fraction, I'm going to have to multiply by x on each side of my equation. Because these are inverse operations, my x's will cross out from the left-hand side, and all that's left is 18, and the other side, 6 times x, is going to be 6x. Now, all I did here was move the x to the other side, really. But now that this fraction is gone, I can solve this equation. So 6 times x, I'll have to divide by 6 so that my x can be all by itself. And I find that x equals 3. Now, as far as types of solution goes, this answer is a one solution answer. And I know it's one solution because I got a number as my answer. I got x equals a number. Now what one solution means is that this is the only number that will make the equation true, meaning no other number in place of x is going to make this calculate out to be 6. So it's one solution because it's the only number that can work. Here's my second example. Again, I'm going to split this down the middle from my equal sign. The first thing I need to do is the distributive property. So 2 times 6 gives me 12x. 2 times 1 gives me plus 2, and I'm bringing this minus 12x straight down, and it's still going to equal 5. Now, when I look at my variables, I see that I have two x's on the same side, so I can go ahead and combine those. But if I put a 12x with a negative 12x, what I actually end up with is 0. 12 minus 12, or 12 plus negative 12, is 0, and my x's completely cross each other out. So all that's left is this 2 and 5. Well, now if I look at this, all my x is crossed out, and what I'm left with is two numbers that are not the same. 2 does not equal 5. So what this means is that this equation has no solution. And what no solution means is that there is no number ever that will make this equation true. And our last example. Again, split my problem down the equal sign. I'm going to start with my distributive property. So I'm going 3 times x gives me 3x, 3 times negative 6, negative 18, got this plus 4. If I distribute this 1/4, I get 3x minus 14. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any like terms I can combine, which I can put this negative 18 and this 4 together, and I'll end up with negative 14. Bring the 3x down, 3x equals 14. Now if you pause for a second here, you'll notice that both of these sides of my equation are exactly the same. 3x minus 14, 3x minus 14. So that's already a hint on our third type of solution, which is infinite solutions. But let's continue anyway. I have x's on opposite sides of my equal sign. So to get those x's to one side, I need to cancel one of them out. Well, 3 minus 3, that x is gone. Same thing on the other side, 3 minus 3, that x is gone. And I end up with negative 14 equals negative 14. Now, if we go back and look at our second example really quick, this is what happened here. All of my x's disappeared. They crossed each other out. But in example 2, I was left with two numbers that were not equal. 2 is not the same as 5. But in this case, all of my x's crossed out, and I'm actually left with two numbers that are equal to each other. Negative 14 is negative 14. So this is my last type of solution, known as infinite solutions, which means that any number will make this equation true. So example 2 was no solution, which means that no number will make the equation true. And infinite solutions is that any number in the entire world will make the equation true. So to recap, we have three types of solutions. We have one solution, no solution, and infinite solutions.